Benjamin bets. It's all about the Benjamin bets, baby. You know what's up? Yes, Benjamin bets, baby.
All right, we're back. Episode 3 of Benjamin bets.
Ready.
Cory,
we're hot.
Jared. Oh, baby. We cooking. We have, okay, where are the stats? I had them texted to you. In our first 2 weeks. Oh, you have it? Do you have it?
Yeah, I have the stats. So do you just want week 2 stats or do you want combined stats?
Let's do our overall first, and then we'll go through our week 2 hits that we won on.
Okay. No, I like that a lot. So in week 1, we went 6-2 overall. Yep. And then in week 2, we went 5-3.
Okay, but
go ahead.
Are you going to say it? You say it.
So if you break that down, we are looking at our parlays. We are 0-2, but that doesn't really matter to us because if we just hit one of any of the weeks, we're going to cover almost 3 times what the bet is going to be worth.
Yeah, they're 6-team parlays. Like, they have no business being hit anyway. So that is a part of our win-loss record. So
absolutely,
those are tough.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you look at us betting on spreads, money lines, over, under, very high-level traditional bets, that is where we come in at 9-3. We were 5-1, 5-1 in week 1, 4-2 in week. I'm sorry.
Yep.
We were 3-2 this last week in that. So solid winning record. And then we making the mortgage.
Yep.
We making the mortgage. We are 2-0 on our Make Our Mortgage. And if you've been listening to us any amount of time, you know that those are usually 2-team parlays with some point teasing.
Yep.
And we're just trying to guarantee that you make rent or your mortgage less next month.
Yeah, we're not gambling on those. Those are just, we know you need to make that mortgage. And you know, so far, if you've done it on like how much you owe each month, you got 2 months. Good job. You know, you got a sixth of the year covered. Your spouses are happy.
I think Marcus Mariota was listening to the podcast last week and was really trying to make our listeners lose money.
Was I sweating it a little bit in the fourth? Yeah, but if you remember my one of my points last week with the Atlanta is the Rams were gonna take their foot off the gas because that's just what they do. They're an older team, Super Bowl champ, up 28-3. And that's where Atlanta, we got these rookies. We got, Mariota, who is always going to keep trying to prove himself, I think, in the NFL. So we knew that they were going to garbage time. It just got to a point where they almost won. That's where
absolutely
I was blown away by that.
And I think I was even questioning. I was like, gosh, do we need to tease this many points? We needed to tease that many points out of Atlanta.
Every point just to make us feel good. So I was doing some research last night, Jared. If we stick above a 60% win rate, we're validated in the sports betting community. We have the ability to give picks to people and feel good about it. And right now, if you just take like you said, the just normal bets we're doing, take out the parlay, the 16 parlays, 9-3 puts us at a 75% win rate right there.
Absolutely.
Right, because out of 12 bets, we won 9. So if we stay at 75%, we going up at Caesars, baby. We going. Let's finish the season. So, but yeah, good recap. Last week, this has been so much fun. I just love doing this with you. So now are we ready? You want to jump into week 3?
Yeah,
right here.
I think we dive in. I think we learned a lot in week 2 about where some teams are at, and I don't know about you, but for me, that's heavily influencing where I want to go with some bets this week. But
sure,
I just want to say this out loud. I'm feeling some bad juju week 3, and I'm not trying to put it out there. I'm just telling you what I'm feeling, and I feel like to keep things going. Sure. We need to be careful. We need to be sensible in this week because I don't do 3 is an unlucky number for me. If I'm third player in Mario Kart, I'm gonna lose. If I don't do well in the third of whatever. I just week 3. I want to be careful. Okay.
Okay. Well, this was a particularly, and I think a harder one. looking through these games. A lot of these spreads are pretty tight. So I kind of was spying a lot of these over unders. Not saying all of them, but I think I got 2 here that I like. And then I have my 2 I like for Make the Mortgage, so that's fine. But yeah, the rest this was a tough week. So yeah, the bad juju, whatever. This was a tough one. I think regardless, this was a tougher one.
Yes, and then because it's tempting, right? When your sample size is so small,
Mm-hmm.
it's tempting to make these broad, like, oh yeah, like I'm looking at the Bills game. Bills minus 5.5.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're rolling, but like at Miami,
Yeah.
daytime game,
Yep.
like that changes some things. So I'm looking at that game and I'm like, I'm not touching that game.
Yeah.
Like over under is really tempting to take the over with how many points the Bills, but like I'm looking at that game, I'm like, this trap. Admiral Akbar saying, like we're not. I'm not going near that game. So that's where my mindset is at. But why don't you kick us off?
Well,
and what are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Detroit, Minnesota. It's my first one, and I just love the over on this. I think Detroit is actually. I mean, they're not winning, but they are. I mean, are they 1-1? I think they won last week, right? They beat the Commanders, so they're 1-1. They're still just gonna put up a bunch of points. I think we ride that Detroit train and pick overs no matter who they're playing. Minnesota, they're going to come out. They're going to be mad. I had Kirk Cousins on my fantasy team. I lost by 0.4 because the man could not stop throwing interceptions. So I'm a little upset. But I think they come back and they have their normal, Justin Jefferson has a touchdown. Dalvin Cook has a touchdown. Like, I just see, can they each score 27 points in their sleep? So I like the over on the Detroit Minnesota game in Minnesota. So they're inside a dome. Like I think that plays really well.
I was looking at the same thing, honestly. I'm following that trend. Like, who's Detroit playing? Do they have any type of defense?
Yeah.
No. Over. Take the over. Let's go.
Yeah. So that's where I'd like to put our first $10 on the over of Detroit, Minnesota.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it. I'm looking at a lot of spreads this week.
Okay.
Because I'm confused about what some of the bet makers are seeing.
Okay.
And so I'm looking at KC Indy. Yep. Indy looks miserable.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Kansas City, arguably the best team in pro football, getting in there at minus 5.5.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
How is that line not high? Now, I understand it's at minus 110. We're not making big bucks here.
Yeah.
But that, to me, I'm looking around and I'm like, should there be a 1 in front of that? Like, did they make 15.5?
Yeah.
Like, what? Tell me if I'm missing something here.
Last night I was kind of looking these over and I saw that. First reaction was I went to our fantasy page because I thought, oh, Pat Mahomes got hurt this week. So I'm doing he was working on his golf swing and threw his back out or something. Because I was like, there's no way that is that low in any way, shape, or form. It actually. And I think we're just going for the win here. But you start to look at these alt spreads where you can give Kansas City more points or take them away. And, 10.5 is plus 180. That seems real enticing. Minus 12.5 points is plus 210. I think they could win that game by 13. So, but no, I love this too, Jared. I was thinking the same thing. Like, what the heck is going on here? Why is that minus 5.5? Yeah.
Now I understand good teams are going to lose games. We've had one undefeated team if you don't count the regular season, Patriots, but like one team run the game, and I understand, but like I'm looking at this and I'm like, what? Like, do they know that Matt Ryan is on steroids? Yeah. Like what? I
What's
just
happening?
Think that's a very safe bet. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a very safe bet. I think Jonathan Taylor has a bounce back game in my opinion here, but I think Kansas City still
Sure, and that wouldn't be biased by the fact that that was your very first pick.
This will be my most watched game. I think I have 3 fantasy players in the Kansas City Indianapolis game. But I have more Kansas City players. So -5.5. I love that. We'll put the $10 down on that.
Love it.
Yeah. It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't rap, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.
Yeah. It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Where are we going next, Corey Dickman? Where are we going?
We're going to Kanye's place. We're going Chi-Town. we're going to Michael Jordan's old stomping grounds. Jared, I don't know if you know this, but the Chicago Bears are not good. Wasn't sure if you were aware. You and I were not even alive when they had a good team. The last time they had a good team, when they won a Super Bowl. I do remember the Rex. Is it Rex Grossman when they went to the Super Bowl?
I mean, they were in that Super Bowl against Peyton's Colts.
Against Peyton. They had that Hester touchdown, remember, to start it off. He had that kickoff return for a touchdown to start the Super Bowl. And then, outside of that defense was incredible.
Right.
But the Bears just overall, they're just not. They've had little glimmers here and there, but Jay Cutler's Bears, I think they had a good run in a couple years.
Mm-hmm. I think Mitch Trubisky might be looking for a job. He may want to go home.
After last night, he's looking for a job.
After last night, that looked miserable.
I like the Texans here, and it's +2.5. I think we just take the win. I think it's just
money line Texans.
I think it's just money line. Yeah, I think it's. I think they could end up winning this game by 6 or 7. I've watched the Texans now the last 2 weeks. They end up being the only game that I can watch. And they're good. They're not bad. Their defense is good. I think we take the Texans money line +122.
Okay, I'm with that.
That's where I'm
all about that. I am going back to another spread that I'm looking at, and I want to make sure that I'm reading it correctly. Because I just don't understand right now. So last week, Miami makes a crazy comeback against Lamar and the Ravens. Shouldn't have happened, right? I'm a Miami fan. I was ecstatic about that.
Yeah.
But now, and then New England wins. New England 1-1, Ravens 1-1.
Yep.
And now you have Baltimore going in to New England.
Yep.
And you're telling me that I can get the Ravens at -2.5?
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
What?
Yep.
I feel like one of those super couponers that I bring a 50, I'm sitting there at the checkout going like, I got 50 cents of soup for 50 cents. Like, you weren't paying attention. I'm gaming the system. This just seems like another one of those to me. I'm looking at it. I'm like, do you really think that little of the Ravens after they played a really good Miami team? Are you that high on New England at home?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like the Bills game last year where we're expecting 80-mile-per-hour winds and Belichick is going to run the ball 6 times.
Yeah.
Like, Lamar is going to go in there and torch them, and absolutely torch them. And Mac Jones is not going to be able to respond the same way that Tua is. There's not enough weapons on that team to get that done. Easy, Ravens.
Your analogy reminds me of there was this card shop in San Marcos, and I went in there and they had all these Pokemon singles, and I'm like looking through the singles. And then you start hitting these like supporters that are like hard to come by, and you're just like, "Are all these a nickel?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, anything in that box, anything in that box is a nickel." And I'm like, "Oh, money!" He doesn't even know. This fool Up until the point, like, I'm there a good hour just sifting through all this stuff, and the guy, I don't know, that's 10 cents. And I go to the checkout, and I'm just waiting. He's like looking, he's counting, and I'm just waiting for him to be like, oh, wait, hold on. These are $8 a piece or something stupid.
Yeah.
But no, made out of there like a bandit, that fool. So, yeah, I mean, not to give things away for later, but this was going to appear at another point too, and still will. Because, yeah, I mean, 2.5. There are some teams that I think can lose in that fashion and then come out and just, like, that revenge style, even if it wasn't the Patriots they played last week. Baltimore's that kind of team. I mean, they're going to 21 points in the fourth quarter, blow that game. Oh, they're going to come out guns blazing, I think.
Absolutely.
I think you saw that last night a little bit. I know Trubisky's not great, but even the way the Browns lost last week was, like, awful. I think they even came out with a little renewed kind of like, oh, we need to get this win. And Baltimore lost in a very similar fashion. So I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think it's a great deal because what I feel like so many of these lines are based upon, and I think we fell into this trap last week, is like, you know, historically when Baltimore goes into New England, it looks like this. And historically, yes, like if Tom Brady is still there in 2017, you know, I'll probably go the other way. But now it's like, it's very different. And I just think you have to go with the times. We should have probably bet against the Saints. Last week we didn't. That was one of our losses.
Yeah, we learned. We learned.
So we're not going to fall into that trap this week.
I don't think we've ever, not that we've been doing this show very long, but we've been doing some bets before we've done the show. I'm gonna say something and you can't roll your eyes, but I think we go New York Jets +6.
Wow.
At home.
Do you have like some kind of side deal with Greeny going right now?
Yeah, well, we're trying to take over Get Up, so that is my plan. No, like last week, we were believers in Cincinnati. We thought, man, they'll go in there. They'll get that win against the Cowboys. They'll cover that spread against the Cowboys. Not only did they cover, they lost that game. I don't know if I believe in Cincinnati right now. I just don't, Jared.
What is it the line? Like, is it just the fact that Burrow just keeps getting hit and hit and hit and he has the weapons but just doesn't have the time to deliver the ball?
They're not protecting him. I think, like, in Jamar Chase, you know, rookie season, there might be some aspect like not respecting a rookie and stuff, and he was just so fast and just gets behind the receivers. That's not happening, at least in the first 2 games this year. I think Joe Mixon, I read the stat, he has the most carries out of any running back in the first 2 weeks of the year, and, you know, they're 0-2. Like, I think that they're doing these things right. I just think that nothing's hitting. And then, of course, the O-line is bad, and the Jets actually have a decent defense. You know, they may be porous all around, but I just don't see them at home. I think they might be pumped. Like, I think they win that game last week against Cleveland, and then they're rolling into a home game like, oh shoot, man, we might be 2-1. You know, they got Flacco, who's not great, but I think he'll keep the pace slow of this game. That's where I'm thinking +6. I like +6 New York Jets right here.
I like that. So Jets at home, getting the points. I can roll with that.
That's right.
I can get down with that. Absolutely.
That's been going. That'd be my third one. That'd be my third one right there.
I like it.
Okay.
All right. So just recapping, we are taking Baltimore -2.5. We're taking the Chiefs -5.5. We're taking the over in the Detroit Vikings game. Mm-hmm. We are taking the Texans money line straight up.
Yep.
And we're taking the Jets spread +6 at home against Cincinnati. Yeah. So that locks us in for 5. Our parlay will be our 6. I'm going to throw a 7th bet at us, and then you got to take us home. People need to pay their rent.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
All right. So this one was really hard for me because I'm looking around at the rest of these games, and there's not one that I'm just like, that's jumping out at me.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so many of these spreads this week are low. Dallas and Giants, it's a point spread either way.
Yep.
Niners, Broncos, 1.5 points. Packers, Bucks. Like, I feel like I do respect Vegas in this way. They're looking around this week the same way as us, and they're saying, like, there's too much. My favorite one is Atlanta at Seattle, like just like this like ugly bird game. Like nobody wants the under is 41.5. I don't want any part of that. Like I just think it's just so like cringe.
Yeah.
Some of these games.
Yeah.
There's one that is intriguing to me.
Okay.
And this could be our trap game, so I'm gonna throw it to you. I'm not saying like roll with me on this, but the Jaguars are surprising me right now.
Yeah.
Like, and I understand that they might be running into a buzzsaw in LA.
Yep.
But like Jacksonville +7, like I don't know. Like the AFC South is so trash right now.
Yeah.
And they are the one bright spot in all of that. Now, looking at who they played, have they really played anybody? No.
Yeah.
Like this is their first test.
Yeah.
But you know, every once in a while Jacksonville gets that wily squad, you know, back in the Mark Brunell, Fred Taylor days.
Yeah.
You're just like, I don't know. Like you've got some quarterback development going on down there.
Yep.
What do you think of it?
Yeah,
I'm interested in hearing what you have to say.
They're for two reasons. I was tracking Herbert. He kind of got banged up last week, and he was like questionable. And I thought, oh, is he even gonna play? And also the person I'm playing this week is Jeremy in our fantasy league who has Herbert. So I was very like invested in this, and I was like, dude, we need to snag that +7 for Jacksonville. Because one, I do like it. I like where you're at there. Two, if he doesn't play, oh man, that's like cherries just bloop, 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 like all day. I think he is gonna play. They took the questionable tag off him, so but I think the game is close. I think you're right. I think Jacksonville, they're feisty. I think Urban Meyer was not a coach last year. I don't even know why he took that job. I think this year they're more of like an actual football team, and I don't know. I really like that. I think +7. I wish it was +7.5, but I think +7 still feels really good. So we rolling? We going with that one?
Yeah, I like it. I think that game is closer than what people think.
Yeah.
And even if Jacksonville does find themselves in a little bit of a hole, they'll scrap back. They'll make it interesting. So I think that's our final regular of our 6 bets.
Okay.
But I think looking around, we need one other bet. What of our 6 bets that we've made so far? Which one of those you're looking at? And you're like, that's got to be our 20.
Of our 6 that we've made,
or are you feeling so good about your mortgage bet this week that you're like, we need to go on this. Like we'll do the 6 with the 7, and we're going 30. All in on the mortgage this week.
I love that. Well, I think I feel that good because it's, and this is not how it always happens, but it is intertwined with one of our bets with another one that we don't have. So half of the make the mortgage is one of our 6.
Okay.
I won't say
Walk
which
us through
one.
that. Let's talk through that. And then I think if we both feel good about it, then we go 10 on all of our original 6 bets, 10 on the 16 parlay.
All right.
And then you might even get to pay off your car this month.
We do a house and a car. House and a car. House and a car. Next week, if you got student loans, those are gone too. So probably not.
We're working towards that. You got yacht payments. We got yacht payments paid off.
I genuinely would love a plane. And like, not to sound like pretentious or like, oh, rich people have planes. I think it's super practical. I mean, you could just, like, I could just come see you where I'd be 2 hours away. Just fly to Nashville.
I can't tell you how many. I watch so many TikToks and YouTubers of these big, the Grant Cardones and all of these, and they are just gushing about their planes make more money than a lot of their physical properties do, and it's a full write-off. Like you're sitting on a bunch of cash at the end of the year.
Yeah,
you buy the plane.
Buy the plane.
So this, and mind you, this is for our listeners out there. We're not getting rich off this. All of this
not,
money is going
I'm
towards
just,
charity.
yeah.
Just
Sorry, we
throwing
didn't
out
mention
there.
that. We forgot.
But
But
this is Benjamin.
this is just
But as you, the bet maker,
purely
it may be a sound investment for you if you're sitting on those millions of dollars after you making that on our bet to invest in the charter plane so that you can make some money off of that, renting it out to other people. That's what Cory's trying to tell you.
That's all I'm saying. I think it's a practical buy for rich people. I think the yacht is like I just have money I can flush down the toilet.
I agree.
I'm getting this yacht because it's like, do you really need the yacht? I think the yacht is kind of over the top, but the plane, super practical. I think I could convince my wife to get a plane. Like I think that's the level of practicality. You mentioned TikTok videos right now because it just once you're watching, they just knows what you want to watch. I am obsessed with these like homes in like Japan and Asian countries that are like all smart homes, and it's just like and these videos are like the person coming home. There's like they don't talk at all. They're just showing you all of the things in their house, like how they spray themselves down, how they put their slippers on, how they make their dinner, how they brush their teeth, all these things. And I'm mesmerized by these videos. It blows my mind. All the stuff they have, like things that
just automated.
Yeah, that like cleans their sheets before they hop into bed, and this like they brush their teeth, then they have this other thing that squirts in their mouth. Like it's wild, dude. If you ever stumble upon one, you will get sucked in. I know you will. Because
you find me the machine that will exercise me, and I'm not talking about like one of those 1950s like straps that goes around like your lower back and jiggles you for a little bit.
Jiggles the fat off.
Yeah, I'm not. You get me one that's getting my heart rate up, and I don't have to actually do anything. I'm in, baby. Come on, Japan.
I like. I think a good workout, and this should be intertwined with the play the Pokemon on the iPad. Is like I think there's something about like walking quickly on a treadmill or like biking while playing because you're tired, your heart rate's up, and then you're trying to make decisions on the. I think it's like training in Rocky IV. Like you're just like, okay, move, support. I'll do boss's order there. You're just so tired, and it's just so good because normally you're just sitting in a chair. Not doing
That's
anything.
true.
So,
that's true.
Yeah,
and that's why we feel uniquely qualified to run this podcast is because we've been doing a lot of heavy lifting over the last 16 years of our life, making bets when we didn't have any money.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting here and we're, like we said, we're about to pay off your yacht, your car, your plane with this week's Make Your Mortgage.
It's happening.
Bet. So
okay.
Lay it on us.
All right. So really quick, you have written down all our bets here? Do you have them written down?
Yes, I have them all.
Okay. So let me go. Boop. Let me just get these off here so I can do this correctly. Okay. I'm going to start off by where we started the day here. Again, Kansas City -5.5. There is something we don't know, and that what scares me a little bit. But I think we do know it all, and I think I don't know what happened. This was 6.5 yesterday or 2 days ago. And so I'm just like, that's why I thought Pat Mahomes got hurt. Somebody got hurt. Who got hurt? Andy Reid got hurt. No one's hurt. So we're going to take it, Jared. Sometimes the obvious play is the right play, and let's not overthink it. I think this is the no-brainer bet of the year so far. The other part of the make the more, and then I'll tell you what the tease is here. The other one is the under San Francisco at Denver.
Yeah, that's a very safe bet.
I've watched Denver both weeks. The Seattle game, we were going to win that game. That was just how it was going to happen. But 16 points. So then you go home next week against Houston, who does have a decent defense, still not putting up points either. And so now you have a Niners team who also has a very good defense. Put these two teams together. 44.5 is the current under. Okay, 44.5. That's a lot of points for these two teams. We throw a little tease in there. Let me see. Let's get this down to even money because that's what this is. We make a mortgage. Kansas City at -1. They just got to win. Kansas City just has to win. That's all that has to happen here. -1. The under changes from 44.5 to 49 points. 49 points. There's no way there's going to score 50 points in this game.
I don't know. The only counter I would say to that is I think the Niners are better with Garoppolo than they are with Lance. So I think you only have to worry about San Francisco putting up points.
Sure. I think they are. I think they put up 20 against Seattle. So with Garoppolo, minus the first drive or whatever, I just don't. Denver has a much better defense. This is actually going to be a game, so there's going to be a lot of gamesmanship going on here. I think it's a managed style game. I don't think this gets high scoring, people going all over the place. Let me check one thing. I know Judy got hurt. In that game. Where let's just see real quick. Here. Is he playing? What do you think? Do you think he's playing, Jared?
I think last time I looked, he was on a questionable status.
Where is he at here? I need all. Questionable still.
Yep.
So
even banged up against the Niners, that's not where you want to be against that defense.
Yeah, I didn't practice Thursday. I don't know. I don't think Judy's playing. This is it. These two feel very, very good to me. The under and Kansas City -1. We throw $30 down on it.
What's that making us when we get to pay our mortgage?
It's just 30. Remember, they're always 1-to-1.
It's always 1-to-1.
That's why this is not a gamble, Jared. This is make your mortgage. We're not gambling. I could entice you. We could say, let's make this real juicy. Give Kansas City win by 12, and the under 38.5. Well, now we're winning $210. But Jared, that's not the point of make the mortgage. We're making the mortgage. Okay,
that's it. Who knows? Maybe we'll break the trend. This could be the week that we go 6-0 on our standard bets, hit the parlay.
Oh yeah.
And then this could be the cleanup week. This could be the breakthrough week for us.
All right. Well, you want me to tell you what that is? That 6-teamer, real quick.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Put it in.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. Why don't you run it through with me one more time so I have it correctly?
All right. Let me. That's great, just for our listeners out there too. So what I have us in at, we've got Baltimore -2.5. We've got Kansas City -5.5. We took the over on Detroit at Minnesota. We took money line Texans at Bears. We took the Jets +6. We took Jacksonville +7. And then I believe those are our 6.
Yep, we have the 6.
Parlay.
We have the 6 in there.
I've got that in as 5. We would win 539.60.
You know what? Hey, let's do something here because the money line's throwing us off. Let's change it. Let's go. We lose a little bit of money, but that's okay. Let's go Houston +2.5 instead of the money line. So let's give ourselves some points. Then I can throw them back in the teaser or back in the. That was if I was going to do a tease. Sorry, I guess we.
Yeah, no, we actually win more money if we take Houston money line. So
okay. Okay.
We can get that in right now at +530.90, 53.96.
Yeah, I see you. Okay, yeah, all right. Okay, we're putting 10 on that.
10 on that, and then we're going big. Our biggest single bet, week 3, $30. Kansas City with pretty much the outright win -1. And then we're taking the under with San Francisco and Denver. Shake it.
It's gonna happen.
Pay that mortgage.
Make that mortgage.
Pay that mortgage.
Let me call the bank.
You can take the kids. you can take the kids to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, there you go.
Paid your mortgage.
I love a good trip to Chuck E. Cheese. They got good pizza.
They do.
I don't know. I've been there a long time. I think we went there in college, didn't we? Someone's birthday.
We can't say that on the.
Oh, we can't say that.
It's not allowed anymore.
We can't mention those.
College was a different time. The rules were different then.
The rules were different then. Are you watching?
Yeah, you're not allowed.
Are you watching Lord of the Rings, the Amazon one?
I am, but I'm probably not as far as you are. I think I've watched 2 episodes.
Oh, okay.
I'm not that deep into it yet, but I'm enjoying it so far.
It's good. It's good. I've been doing like voices in the house, and Lauren has not been a fan, but it's fine. It's just you just have to talk differently when you want Prince Duden. Like it's too good. Ellis, baby of the house. Like it's just
We'll do another pop culture podcast where we can. Oh yeah, the Lord of the Rings is really doing a lot better than the new Game of Thrones, and we can just start. We'll just start imbibing TV all the time, and that'll be our livelihood.
I wonder if Game of Thrones, like the allure of like just the naked people, has. And I haven't watched any of the dragon one, and I don't know if it's been good or not. Maybe it has been, but I just remember when Game of Thrones came out. That was like, oh my God, you see penises. Like that, I know people tuned in just to see naked people. Like, yeah, it was about the storyline, but they were just like, what the heck? There's like penises on this show. And so maybe on this one, it's like, oh, I'm just tired of the penises. Let's get back to just good old lore, Lord of the Rings.
We just start working in the adult film industry with Game of Bones.
If that's not a thing, Jared, we got to start.
Has to be.
It's got to be.
I have no idea, but it has to be.
I'd Google it, but I'm scared, so I'm not.
Yeah, don't Google that. Stick with us, listeners. The bets are safe. Our Google suggestions at this moment in time are not.
It's too good. All right, so to recap, we're 9-3 in our bets. We're 2-0 in the make the mortgage bets, and we're 0-2 on our 6-team parlays. So that's just right? Isn't that where?
I believe that is correct.
That
is correct.
Because it's 12 overall. We do 6 and 6.
Yep.
And then we have the 2 make the mortgage. So technically we're 11-3 if we want to throw in the mortgage ones into there too. But then the argument would be made, well, then put your parlays in there, and we don't want to do that. So we'll separate them all out. 75%, Jared. If we can stay at 75%, we're getting an ESPN show. We got to.
It's hot. It's hot.
We
Let's
got
go.
to, or at least a Sirius XM show or something. Throw something.
What's up, man? We making folks money out there. They just need to be tuning in.
United Way, Isaiah House. We got some other good charities we want to help.
The Dickman Student Loan Relief Foundation.
That's a good one. That one's always open. They'll wheel and deal with you too, I hear. So it's an untraditional nonprofit.
If Joe Biden won't help you out, then donate to the
Uncle
Dickman
Joe.
students.
If Uncle Joe wants to win again, he's got to up that instead of 10K forgiveness. He's got to make that like 100. So come on, Uncle Jojo. How bad do you want the White House? Put your money where your mouth is.
Oh my God.
We'll get that plane. Did you hear? We'll end up with this that there was like this COVID COVID relief funding for hunger. It was like you could apply for this money for COVID relief, and then it was to feed the hungry. And this lady, or there was a group of them, like stole like $200 million or something, or like took the money and then was doing like somebody we know buying things at Apple and another stores at the mall and like running up charges for stuff that was not food related.
That's crazy, man.
That's just insane. So
that's just nuts.
All right.
Nuts.
All right, get on TikTok. Watch the Asian house videos. They're too good.
Ooh, I'm in.
All right, here we go. Great episode. Week 3. We rolling. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. Baby. All right, see ya.
See ya.
Oh, I hit the light.
Yeah. It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.
Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Mike.
And we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros Foes Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't rap, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.